Last time on Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Toilet paper! What's a toilet paper? Very fitting for me now that I think about it. Hey guys, Raiden here and welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. So, I got the new capture card really early and I'm really happy about that. It actually should run a little better. In fact, you guys probably won't notice on YouTube, but when I stream, it's probably, when I do stream or when I feel like it every once in a while, it's probably gonna feel a lot better and be more smooth, and I can have higher quality streams if I so desire. And there's also less latency, so I can directly see what's going on from here to there. It's just amazing. It's so good. Anyways, I'm hoping this fixes our problem that we were having before. We'll see, because this is my first recording session using that, so we'll see how all that goes. Something that shouldn't be possible, like Miu in the mansion or that loud noise. I need to remember everything else that happened in there. Oh no, not mine. This game's like... I mean, they probably have harder variations as you go on, but it's honestly not that bad, I'd say. What am I looking for? What's the question? What weird phenomenon happened in the virtual world? Oh, the sign showing up. Oh, but I don't want to get that. What if the Monokuma's in here? We have to destroy it all. It all must die. Yeah, I don't think he's here. Anyway, it's a sign. Clear.
I see it. The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me. Odd how? We mentioned it before, but Miu dropped the sign in the river.
Whoops, my hand slipped.
We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it.
Finding the sign was definitely weird. I'm most confused by how the sign got there. I should remember exactly what happened with that sign. Alright, here we go. Another psych taxi? Suichi, you really like playing this, don't you? Oh no, the letters are moving. There's too many distracting Smoogies. Actually, when I've asked about favorite characters, I haven't heard a single person mention Smoogie yet. Which is fair enough, like her whole character is meant to be bland. I mean, there's probably something under all that blandness, but I don't know yet. At which point was the signboard swept away? The river, the mansion, the river. It's a pretty obvious one. And there's that art style with Miu crying. I don't know, where is the end of the river? It's kind of a vague question. It's the bottom, isn't it? Mansion side? No, chapel side. Yeah, there we go. Don't worry, ladies. Suichi's a grade A driver. I forgot, did they actually give their ages in the profiles? I mean, I can assume that they're all high school... Whoops. That they're all high school level students, but... Where was the signboard found after it was swept away? On the rock, below the school side. Do we really have to do a thinking taxi game just to put all this together? Mansion side. What? There's only one lane now. This is very dangerous. Guess there's no going back from here. This road is very poorly made. I would like to see the man who drafted the blueprint for this road. Compared to the river's current, which way did the signboard float? It would have floated right, I guess? I can't look at the menu in here, so... Against the current. Woo!
It connects.
Yeah, maybe the physics on the current was changed.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current. We all saw Mew drop the sign and watch the river carry it downstream. And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct? It should have hit the wall on the far side of the chapel and stopped there. But that's not where we found it. We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
This game is super weird with what it thinks you should and shouldn't know. The fact that it made me go through several minigames to figure out that, which I figured out in like 5 seconds, but other things in other cases that aren't obvious at all, it makes me go through a minigame for like seesaw effect and ropeway.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river, then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what.
It's so weird talking to Kokichi because sometimes he seems to be like sincerely teaching everyone, and then other times, yeah, I don't know.
All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
What?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't. The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is you.
Or you if you're being an asshole right now.
So, how are they connected? Do you know Shuichi?
Well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall.
The unnatural way this... Wait, what's the question? What clue is related to the unnatural way the signboard was carried on the river? Map of the world. The virtual world is surrounded by walls on all 4 sides, and there's a loading point between the 2 areas. Loading. When going through the map, the loading point side cut off in order to go between the mansion. Signboard used as bridge. What clue is related to the unnatural way the signboard was carried on the river? Coordinates in the virtual world are represented on the X. Is it the wall she added?
This is it!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It might have to do with a wall that only objects can pass through. The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chapel. But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through...
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
The only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
That's right, that's the real issue here. How could the signboard pass through the wall but end up on the mansion side? What would explain that?
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble.
I swear to God, if you repeat the Konami code to me, I'm throwing you out that stained glass window. I don't even know where that outside of that is because we're inside, so you're probably gonna hit a wall that's behind it, but whatever. What?
This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Kokichi might be onto something here. We need to forget about what we know and just think about it. How did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river, how did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Ugh, it's a mouthful to say. There's another signboard. The downstream and upstream connect. The signboard teleported. Isn't that essentially the same thing?
That's it! What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall too.
That means that they're the same wall, aren't they?
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
The reason she only set up one wall is because the chapel and mansion walls, I don't know, they're the same wall. I mean, they could be duplicates. She could have just literally copied an asset over, but that'd be way too much like developer sense.
That's it! The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same wall.
The same wall?
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world.
Look at you go down the streams like, woo! I would love to actually kind of ride that. Although I hate rides, so
The
never
idea
mind.
is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
It's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch!
Wait, is this really near the end?
If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
The secret, huh? Yes, I suppose we should clear that up. We need to solve the mystery of the virtual world. I bet the Monokuma doll's in here somewhere. The secret. What letters are there? Anagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea. I suck at this one. Ha. W. World. Whoops. It's not a good one. Shoot, I didn't mean to push triangle again. World. Nope. What is that? Is that supposed to be a Q? Oh, that's a P. Why are they backwards? I guess because you can turn them all around. Oh my goodness, I've guessed every single letter here. L? World L. World low. Oh, world loop. Oh, that's all I was trying to say. Yeah, I guessed that before. I don't know why I put in another. Oh, that's stupid. Wait, there's 2 more letters. Loop isn't. Oh, the world loops. okay.
I see now.
I swear, I figure out what's actually going on,
that's
and then
it. The virtual world is a loop.
yeah, it's a programmed loop. But anyways, it always confuses me when I do this because I feel like I have the answer right, and then I see that anagram, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I was right all along, but they just use some stupid wording for it in programming language.
Loop?
Just like in old games, right? Like,
Whoops, I didn't mean to cut you off, Smoogie. What'd you say? Like, for example...
when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world loops?
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away.
Maybe it's because I played enough video games that this isn't, like, evident to me, but I'm surprised everyone's shocked by this.
It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream, and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
What do you mean that's too crazy? That's like simple programming.
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
Why are you guys so surprised by this? I cannot believe how surprised they are.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the map loading point.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
The loop? They heard it. Where's the looping point? I have one try on this. Maybe the loop is the mansion? Wouldn't the loop point run through the whole world rather than be confined to one location?
I was wrong!
Oh. I love how I did perfectly, and that Hangman's Gambit screwed it all up. I was on a perfect run. I'm not sure if they made Hangman's Gambit better or worse, honestly. Okay, we're back. Where it loops? I'm guessing the sidewalk. But the thing is, like, there's only certain points where this thing, like, blows up and becomes usable. The forest? The loop begins in the forest west of the mansion? Considering the position of the forest, isn't that an odd location for the loop point to be? Why is everyone so smart when I get things wrong, but when I'm right, they're just like, what? I actually don't know the answer.
There!
It's the loading point?
The
Or the
map
map
loading
switch?
point was where the virtual world looped.
Oh, that's how they're looking at it. Okay, I get it now. So you
We thought
actually
the loading
have to
point
put the
was in the middle
diagram
of the
side by
map.
side.
But the loading point was actually at the edges.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather, her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
Suichi sounds so happy.
For you to get
Oh,
this.
shoot, I didn't mean to skip his lines. I'm super sorry. I just need to keep my hands off the controller entirely. Because, like, I'm not even pushing things early. Like, my thumb will slightly move and the buttons are so sensitive. I miss Kokichi's evil laugh. I apologize for that.
Far. Yes. Yes. You are useful indeed.
Okay, Kokichi, something's up with you.
For you to get this far, what are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me. Remember? Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center, which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
What is with you? I don't trust this at all.
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
I guess we all just would have died, but that's fine. All hail Lord Shuichi. Oh man, Shuichi's a Fire Emblem Lord. That would be awesome. You'd be the next best one.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Kaito's like,
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part.
I love how now that enough people have died, Kokichi's just starting to head the trial.
Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies.
But he's not lying, he's literally telling the truth.
I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
I love Kokichi's voice actor. You really got into it. What is Kokichi's plan here? He's definitely prodding Kaito on purpose. There's no time for distractions like him, even though he's actually helping us. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed Mew. Doesn't matter how many little mysteries we solve if we can't find the culprit. It would all be for nothing. But I still don't know who the culprit could be. Who used Mew's own plan against her to kill her? Who killed Mew? Oh, we just now reached intermission. I forgot how short I let the last episode be. Hopefully we can get through the entire trial this episode. Sometimes I just have nothing to say though. Sometimes I just have to listen to them. You close your fucking door. Man, I'm bushed. I got no motivation at all. And Monophony's period is like 2. What? That's really personal. Father, why do you know Monophony's cycle?
And another.
Never mind that. Perhaps this lack of motivation is due to a lack of hibernation.
Eh?
Lack of hibernation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been sleeping well lately. Oh, I forgot. He's totally unmotivated to do anything. So I haven't really been able to hibernate. That's awful. What could be causing it? Is it because you have a lot on your mind? Huh? Is it because the graveyard shift pays a better hourly wage? Huh?
Really?
Is it because you don't want them to think you're just goofing around? Is it because you just want to stay friends? Is it because you want to watch it in real time? Father? He's gone to hibernation. We should just let him be.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. Night-night. Does that mean you won't talk for the rest of the trial? Because that's fine by me.
My head!
Bonotaro! Pull yourself together!
I feel like I'm forgetting someone important. just can't. My head hurts so much, I just can't remember.
Have you forgotten? Maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
Wait, what?
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
I don't want to hear any more of that little messed up family.
Colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world.
Kaito's starting to become, like, really standoffish towards Shuichi. Is it because he doesn't feel, like, a sense of usefulness in any way? I mean, because, well, let's be honest, he's really not. But without him also encouraging Shuichi, we wouldn't have even gotten this far, so he is useful in just a roundabout way.
And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge.
How many times do we have to watch this?
She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit kill her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
I wouldn't think so.
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
That's a really good line of, that perfectly describes Mew, actually.
No say such mean things. Killing game bad, not Mew. Mew not bad person. Going to think we could have been friends, if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Wow. Well, everyone's like, no, I wouldn't talk to her. If I weren't stuck here with her, never again.
Huh?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Going to not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the Avatar's physical strength was equalized.
That doesn't account for weight, though, does it? That's just their physical strength. That doesn't have anything to do with being able to throw objects. For example, even if I have as much strength as some guy who weighs equally to me, that doesn't mean that I couldn't lift him up.
Physical strength equalized? That problem. Going to know can protect everyone if that happens.
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Which one? Kibo yelling or the bang? Oh. What was that sound?
Because
Don't
of
worry,
that
it's just me,
sound,
Kaito,
you guys
on the
went to
roof.
the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy?
Ripping out some sick beats, just Kaito beatboxing on the roof. Ah, that's what it was. I just don't want to say it because it was kind of stupid now that I think about it.
That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that the noise is related to this case. We need to figure out what the sound could have been. It might be the clue we need to solve this case. So what was it? It sounded like something slamming hard into something else. So what were those two things? What could it be? Hammer hitting the wall, cell phone hitting the wall, lattice hitting the wall, Mew hitting the wall. I would say it would be Mew hitting the wall.
That's it! I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall. The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
'Cause he does?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
I'm really curious where those two are gonna go. By the way, you guys did say in the, like in Kyo's portrait, it's actually supposed to be the steam from the, boiling pot. It's kind of sad.
A way of
But
transporting Mew's
honestly, you
avatar
shouldn't
that
feel
would
bad
cause
for
it to
Kyo.
crash
He
into the
was
chapel.
crazy. Getting Mew's avatar to crash into the chapel from the mansion's roof. There's only one way I can think of how to do that.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
You what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right?
Correct.
Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope, and the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof. If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Did they put her on the lattice and slide her down like a sled? Kokichi's talking as if he's got the whole thing figured out already. Is this the first time you're noticing this? But I can't let him distract me. I need to solve the case. How to make Mew hit the chapel wall from the roof of the mansion. I'm going to find the answer. No, not again. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. What does that mean? Slid? Yes, okay, I was right. Slid her down. Wait, that was an R. I thought that was an H. Monokuma. Gotcha. Slid. Off. Slid off. Roof. Slid off roof. Oh, 2 O's. I feel like an idiot for that. There we go.
I see now.
Slid off rough.
The culprit used the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Slide?
Nah, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
But if she was placed on an object-level object...
No. It would slide.
Wait, why? Why, French? Why?
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who's Shumai?
Who the hell is Shumai?
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Ramen Man? Is that a thing? I'm positive that's how Mew's avatar was moved, but maybe the culprit used something else as well to help her body slide. We haven't gotten into a scrum debate yet. The lattice, I already
Even if
know.
her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh.
I'm gonna go through it once just to see everything. Whoosh, whoosh,
Didn't make
whoosh.
that much noise. It must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. But not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around, though.
Kaito, you're wrong.
That's wrong.
Kaito's being really defiant this
No,
time.
wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body. Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof. I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
Wait, but Kaito was the only one on the roof. If this is actually Kaito, I'm gonna lose my mind.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct!
Okay.
After the culprit killed Mew
Oh
on the
my
rooftop,
God.
they placed her corpse on a sled.
When they originally made that, were they like, we have to program in the naked guy too? It's like, why? Why? No one's gonna want to play as him. It's like, I will.
And slid her down the roof's steep
Wasn't it
slope.
Fujisaki that made this program originally? It's weird. This must be some sort of like alpha version of the program or alternate, because the actual killing game simulator was really realistic.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff. I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
What's your problem with Sonic?
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
It's you! The culprits.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to get as the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from Mew, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
It could have been that Tsuichi guy. He was doing some pretty thrifty stuff.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me.
That's right, 5 suspects. Me, Samugi, Gonta, Kokichi, and Kaito. We don't know enough to name the culprit yet, but one of them is suspicious. When were they talking about the rooftop? Wait, when we were talking about the rooftop, they clearly lied. For what reason would they have to lie? I'll need to press them for information before making any judgments. Kaito? Kaito, did you lie about something on the roof? What are you talking about? I wouldn't lie. They were staring at me. Wait, that's his proof? That's the reason why I'm going to get pegged for that? Who's the liar? Well, I mean... I would think it would be Kokichi.
It's you!
That's right. I mean, I was just
Kokichi.
guessing.
There's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
Oh, that's right. He said he was at the salon, didn't he? Was he actually there, though?
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now.
Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting. It all began when Miyu showed us the map. That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
It was that testimony that bothered me.
Again? I'm fine with this. That was a bad start. Oh man, I'm doing bad this time. Normally, I honestly just press these and eventually they just happen and fix themselves. Look how much time I have to destroy to get through here. Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting. I would assume that's the lie. But, you know what? I'm gonna say that's it.
I see it! When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said...
Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
But later, you said...
Since the mansion... Oh, that's what it was. He knew that the roof was sloped up there, but he never actually went up there. And he talked about the handrail, too.
That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Huh? What?
And now he's acting like this purposefully.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the rooftop?
I didn't. I already told you that before.
This is super fake.
Why you look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
But there's no evidence that proves I went to the roof. Wait, I remember now. That thing Himiko said.
Me?
At the start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
Wow, this voice actor is something.
Or is it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
She did not.
She did too.
Maki's gonna kill these two.
Then when? Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless fight!
Oh no, he's getting ready to start the scrum debate, isn't he?
Stop him, Grandpa! Oh, this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
It's not born yet.
Yeah, Grandfather. Stop them before your grandkid is born.
I'm not gonna apologize, cause Himiko said it.
So damn stubborn.
How much longer are you going to behave like this?
We don't have time for this. But Kokichi is stubborn and he won't fess up no matter what. But if he's being this stubborn, it makes me think he has something to hide. To get him to show his hand, I have to prove he was on the roof. I might not like it, but I have to be aggressive. If we don't get the whole truth now, everyone's lives are in danger. Oh, no scrum debate yet? Okay.
I didn't go to the roof.
I've had enough of your lies, man.
I'm not lying. The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
What is Kokichi in the salon? Kokichi agreed to meet up with me on the rooftop, but because the door to the rooftop was locked, he couldn't. Because of that, he returned to the salon and decided to search there. There are no witnesses who can confirm whether or not Kokichi was actually in the salon.
If you're lying, I'll set your pants on fire!
Fire, fire.
That's fine because I'm not lying.
Then why do you look so nervous?
Kokichi is lying for sure, but if he keeps throwing lies at me, I have to fight fire with fire.
I didn't go to the roof.
Oh, it's telling me to lie?
I've had enough of your lies, man.
It wants me to lie that I
I'm
saw
not lying.
him?
The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
So
What did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. I stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Yes.
I'll reveal the truth.
Time to lie.
Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
Huh? Lying about what?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you. But you weren't there.
what? Really?
I waited there for a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
I see. You use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi?
I like that he's super into it. He's like, oh, I just found a new best bud.
So who are you guys gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
Oh, this is a scrum debate, isn't it?
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
The one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. Oh, no. Himiko points to Shuichi.
Himiko points. I want some of those.
But to go to the
What can I buy
salon,
with them?
Shuichi would need to pass by me in the dining room. I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there.
I love lying. I mean, not in real life, but I like lying in here.
Oh well. I'll believe Shuichi anyway. He's usually right about stuff.
About stuff.
Sorry, but going to believe Shuichi too.
This isn't even a scrum debate. I Ghost Rantaro do not believe in
I wondered if
Shuichi.
he's going to believe me.
Scrum debate of like 5 or 4 people against Kokichi and a ghost got Rantaro. Monokuma's like, well, I guess we better start the scrum debate. It's like, with who? It's like, the 4 of you against Kokichi and Ghost Rantaro. It's just Rantaro's portrait. It doesn't even say anything.
What comes around goes around. That's what happens to liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much? There's only one truth, but endless possibilities for lies, you know? And some of them are only white lies, or lies to be kind to people. If you deny all of that just because it's a lie, And that means you guys are just terrible at being lied to. Seriously, the worst!
Just spit it out already. You went to the roof, didn't you?
Isn't that where he met up with Mew?
No, he didn't just meet her there. He probably killed.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you if you want to know that badly. Consider this my revenge.
Revenge?
Revenge?
Is he going to lie back?
You got some balls lying to me. I'm gonna take away your fun for pissing me off, Shuichi. I won't let you do any detective work, or deduction, or mystery solving, or anything.
Oh?
So, I'll confess everything. You guys better listen carefully.
You literally won't let me do my job, and he's gonna tell a bunch of lies. Great.
Fess!
A confession? So you are the culprit after all.
I came up with a plan after Mew asked me to
Confessing?
meet up with her. She asked me pretty eagerly, too. So I decided to pry some info out of her.
Wait, is this supposed to be, like, poking fun at Ace Attorney right now?
She gave me the rundown of the virtual world before she explained it to you guys. As I listened, I realized she was planning a murder. On me, no less. When I investigated the virtual world, I found out that a person can die from shock. Without a doubt, she planned to use that for my murder. So that's when I decided to prepare my own crime with her plan. I pretended to cooperate with her and lured everyone into the virtual world. That's also why I worked together with Monokuma.
You worked together with Monokuma?
I guess the jig is up. Yeah, everything he said is true. Kokichi came to me with an idea to make the killing game more interesting. It was such a good idea, I decided to place a motive in the killing game simulator.
There was a motive in there?
You added a motive? Then the secret of the outside world is the motive, right?
No fair! Monokuma can't take sides!
I didn't help him with anything, and I had nothing to do with the murder itself. He merely suggested a way to spice up the killing game, and I accepted. Kokichi and I had a quid pro quo relationship. Technically, that doesn't violate the rules.
Bullshit! No matter how you look at it, you guys are working together.
Shh, calm down. I'll explain my relationship with Monokuma, so let me finish my confession.
I'm fine with that, but you're confessing without much of a fight.
I told you. I'm gonna get in the way by taking away the mystery-solving fun.
But he literally can't do any of this because if he even touches Mew, his avatar will freeze up because of the paralyzation feature on
If I can't win
hers.
this game, then I'll make it boring for everyone. That's my revenge. Well then, the culprit is Gonta.
What?
Huh?
What did you...
Wait! When did Gonta kill Mew?
That's a lie! He didn't kill her! Kokichi's just lying!
I have a feeling it's not a lie.
Now you're trying to pin things on Gonta? Do you really expect us to believe such an obvious lie?
Yeah, there's no way Gonta could commit a murder this complicated. He's not.
It's my turn now.
It's my turn now!
The truth is, Gonta and I worked together. We formed a duo to end this killing game.
Oh. As I said before, Gonta's not smart enough, especially if Kokichi forced him to do something that he wouldn't normally have done.
As the Killing Game Busters!
The what? He looks so confused.
What busters?
We must win this killing game in order to end this killing game.
What you mean, we?
By the way, I came up with a murder plan, and Gonta carried it out.
Gonta what?
Why are you more surprised by that than the first thing he said?
Cause Gonta have no idea what he's talking about.
Come on, quit lying and tell us the truth.
Gonta is telling the truth! He's not someone who lies all the time like you!
And no matter how naive Gonta may be, I doubt he would ever team up with Kokichi.
Yeah, not after insect meet and greet incident.
It's obvious what he's trying to do. Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, so Kokichi's trying to trick him. He's trying to sacrifice Gonta to escape from his crime.
You're a terrible person! How dare you use Gonta like that?
I swear, ever since Himiko changed, all she does is yell. Like there's nothing else. She's just yelling all the time.
You're right. I'm sorry. I did something horrible to Gonta. I didn't want Shuichi to hog all the glory, so I told everyone the truth.
Cut that out. I told you it's not gonna work.
Don't you think I could have pulled the strings and made Gonta carry out my commands?
Oh, by the way, I know last episode I was telling you guys that, or last episode I asked in the comment section who had the best outfit, and mine actually is Kokichi, but that's only when he has the cape, because in his actual art he has this gigantic cape and a cool hat, and I love that. I love that outfit so much. Without the cape though, it's probably Kios.
It doesn't matter if it's possible or not, because I say it's just impossible.
It does matter. There's no need to bring emotions into class trials. All we need is logical thinking. Right, Shuichi?
What?
Going to not understand what's going on. But still, going to not kill Mew. Going to really not know anything. And also, going to not tell lies. And going to not make trouble for others. 'Cause that not how gentlemen act. That why Gonta not culprit.
Yeah, Gonta's not lying. I can tell just by looking at him.
I already used my magic to check. Gonta's definitely not lying.
What do you mean use your magic? You didn't do anything.
Then let me ask you guys. If it's not Gonta, then who's the culprit?
You, of course!
Come on! There's already proof that I couldn't have killed Mew.
Yeah, you can't touch her.
There's already proof?
Oh, did you forget already? Then let me make it clear again. Why I can't be the culprit!
Oh, God! Is anyone actually going to react to that, or are we just going to leave it at that? That he's being a psychopath, and that he looks like Satan over there?
I am not the culprit. Didn't I prove that to you guys already? The clue is how Mew is killed.
Mew got strangled to death, right?
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
You would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That
So that was
wouldn't matter
equalized.
if you strangled her from behind.
In which case, even if she did resist, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her, no problem.
No, you couldn't have.
See, I told you I'm not the culprit.
How'd you arrive at that conclusion?
If it's already been proven that Kokichi is innocent, we should have evidence of that. But before we can say one way or the other, we have something to clear up.
I am
Not the culprit.
Yep, I'm gonna clear it up right now and expose another one of his beautiful lies. I understand now why so many people like Kokichi. I do too a lot, to be honest.
Strength of your virtual avatar? Exactly, she couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her.
No problem. That's wrong.
I'm getting these V points a lot now.
Actually, maybe it wasn't possible for Kokichi to strangle Mew.
Why wasn't it possible?
Mew modified my avatar, so if she attacked me, I wouldn't be able to resist. If Mew touched me, then I'd be unable to move.
Huh?
So I would have had to kill her instantly, such as stabbing or hitting. I couldn't have murdered her by strangulation, because it'd be game over if she touched me.
That looks so cute for murder, though.
What?
Looks like she's getting murdered by, like, Spider-Man back there.
Well, if you were using the toilet paper, you wouldn't need to touch her directly.
But if you can't be touched while you're wrapping the toilet paper around her neck... then it would be impossible.
Which means, as long as she died from strangulation, it couldn't have been me.
Wait, what if it was something besides strangulation then? Like,
There's no doubt Mew was strangled. We already discussed this.
Kaito is really desperate to make me the culprit. No matter how much you whine about it, you can't change the truth. The culprit who killed Mew is Gonta Gokuhara! This is the truth you all adore so much.
No! Gonta not kill Mew! It's true! You gotta believe Gonta! Gonta would never hurt anyone!
I really hope Gonta doesn't come out to be like a super psychopath. I really don't.
I believe you. You've been risking yourself to protect everyone. There's no way Gonta would kill. He won't even kill bugs.
I still don't know anything about Rantaro, and I really want to know.
Believe Gonta too. I'm not gonna listen to Kokichi's lies.
of course! Who'd believe a liar like him? He's lying about Gonta being the culprit, so there's no point talking about it.
I don't know about that. If we want the truth, we might have to ask uncomfortable questions.
Right, Shuichi? You think so too, don't you?
Huh?
I know how important it is to believe, but as the ultimate detective, I know we can't solve this case with belief alone.
Huh?
It's just that something doesn't add up. I have this feeling something's off. We can't keep going back and forth like this. We need to discuss this.
What, you wanna suspect Gonta?
Too bad, Kaito. Looks like Shuichi agrees with me.
No, I'm not trying to...
Oh, the irony! It's all thanks to Kaito that Shuichi got his act together as a detective. And now, Shuichi's intuition as a detective has made him more suspicious of others. Well, can't be helped. That's just what a detective does.
That's not it, Kokichi. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone
Shuichi, Gonta really not do it. Gonta not culprit. Please, believe Gonta.
Oh, that must hurt
We might
like
as well
crazy.
discuss it.
Even I'm hurting out here just watching this.
What?
As a precautionary measure, that's all. I think we need to seriously discuss whether Gonta was capable of committing this crime. Only then can we arrive at a logical decision.
You guys, why don't you get it? That's just what Kokichi wants. He's just trying to split us up. Shuichi, open your eyes!
But...
2 for 1 truth special!
Oh god, here we go.
Sorry to ruin this tense moment, but you guys seem pretty evenly split right now.
I saw a comic of like, I think it was Shuichi and Tsumugi just discussing something like random that had nothing to do with a trial, and you can see Monokuma in the background like sweating, ready to push the scrum debate button. He's like, okay, we just need to decide on something or else he's gonna do this shit again.
So, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds!
So we're gonna do that again?
Shuichi, why? Why don't you understand? You're my sidekick, aren't you?
Kaito...
Of course I want to believe Gonta. I don't want to think he killed anyone. But as the ultimate detective, I can't turn away from the truth. That's right, Shuichi. I need to find the truth. That eye. Let's go then. Wow. I have all these dead people argue for me.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
Kibo!
The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall. But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
I've got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
Oh, he
It's all
talked
a
twice in a
lie.
row. That's what that was.
Kokichi is the one who killed Mew.
I've got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew.
Gonta not kill Mew! Honest!
Ugh.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
Yes, maybe. When we aren't consistent, our position looks weak. We'll have to work together. Wow, it's 3-on-4 this time. We have to face the truth, even if we don't want to. We have to defend that point.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I've got this! I can't say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt
Kokichi!
Don't you realize these so-called sweethearts can commit crimes too?
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without...
Kibo!
The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been
Witnesses at the entrance hall.
I've got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
Kokichi!
I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is
The one who killed Mew.
Kibo!
That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special
There we
settings.
go. I'm gonna get this. It
Gonta
feels really
not
good.
kill Mew! Honest!
I've got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew.
Here we go. Why is it switching so fast? There we go. We won. It's like the #1 thing I'm best at in video games is mashing buttons.
In my opinion, as long as it is possible that Gonta is the culprit, we have to discuss it.
That's ridiculous. You're going to believe Kokichi over Gonta?
Yes.
That's not it at all. I just want the truth.
I sometimes would rather believe a smart liar over a dumb truther. I don't know what that means.
If we're going to survive, I have to find the truth.
But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit.
I still don't think Gonta's lying.
I don't either.
But didn't I tell you guys already? If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically. Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit.
For some reason, I feel like he doesn't know that he's lying. No.
That's why it hurts my heart to persecute Gonta like this! Gonta, if you understand, then do it right. Make logical arguments for the truth.
Logical arguments?
It means use your head to make arguments.
Use head?
What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't the culprit, then you gotta prove that you aren't!
But Gonta really not know.
I'm sick of hearing you say you don't know! God, why are you so dumb?
Holy shit, he's getting upset.
Gonta just want to help everyone, like true gentlemen.
You're a true gentleman? More like a true nincompoop.
Hey! Now that's just bullying.
Bullying? Yeah, so what? That's what you do in this game, right?
Yeah, this game's just extreme bullying simulator.
You guys blame and gang up on me, but now you're gonna pretend to be good people?
No, I never ganged up.
Yes, you did.
Gonta, argue back already! Just make an excuse or whatever!
Stop it! That's enough!
Stop what? You mean stop the game? Hey, do you even know what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. What about it? I don't want to survive if it means I have to stoop to your level.
Oh, that's a low blow right there. Then just die in a hole for all I care! We want to live, so stop getting in our way!
Wow, this is getting really intense.
Wait. If you don't shut your mouth, then I'll shut it for you. Permanently.
Magi, please, calm down.
Sorry, It's Gonta's fault everyone's so upset. But Gonta telling truth! Gonta really not culprit! 'Cause Gonta not know anything! Really!
Cut it out already! That's all you've been saying this whole time!
Holy shit, Kokichi.
You're the one that needs to cut it out.
Wait, what did Kokichi say? I love how he's become able to tune out, like, all of this. He's just so calm. All you've been saying this whole time, that's true about Gonta. This whole time, Gonta's been saying he doesn't know anything. Gonta not understand either. Miu like this when Gonta wake up. Gonta was sleeping too, had strange dream. Gonta not understand anything. Gonta not know. Murder already happened when Gonta wake up. But why this happened? Why Miu killed? Gonta not understand. Gonta not understand anything. Because Gonta, yeah, I know. That's literally all he says. And, like, in my mind, I do not want to, like, persecute him as a liar. But at the same time, I feel like he did do it. But when exactly did he start using that defense? Before logging into the virtual world. No, he wasn't saying anything like that before he logged in. Stop saying you know every time we talk about the virtual world. I'm sick of it. Okay. I guess it's after logging out.
That's it.
Yeah, it's the only time he started saying he didn't know anything now that I think about it. That's it. It was after he logged out. That means...
Did Gonta get into an accident in the virtual world?
Accident?
The accident that hurt Gonta. That was... The accident that hurt Gonta. What are they talking about? I really have no idea what they're talking about here. What was the accident concerning Gonta? When everyone logged in for the first time, an avatar user error occurred. Could it be that? Could it be the user error?
This is it.
Sick. There's just deduction, which we haven't used yet.
Virtual world. An avatar user error occurred.
Some sort of avatar user error occurred when you all logged in for the first time. Error? The contents of the error are unknown, so I can't provide any details. But something strange definitely happened to someone's avatar when you all logged in.
An avatar user error?
Ever since Gonta logged out, he's been saying, I don't know, I don't understand.
That's because Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, right?
Is it possible he doesn't remember?
That's what I thought at first. But I think it's because of the error.
What you mean?
If that error is what's affecting Gonta, and it's making him forgetful and loopy, then what was the error? What could it have been? I can't even guess here. Wow, that was lucky. Memory. Loss. That's not the name of the error.
I see now.
Got it. That felt good, but I'm still a little worried about Gonta.
That Gonta doesn't remember what happened in the virtual world.
Huh? He doesn't remember?
You started saying, I don't know anything, after leaving the virtual world. I think that's the result of some kind of memory error.
Oh, that's why he doesn't remember anything that happened in the virtual world. Not even killing Mew.
What?
That's ridiculous! Quit screwing around!
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean he doesn't remember? He's just confused!
Gonta told us he was bad with computers, remember?
Oh no, not this.
Memory or no memory, Gonta never hurt anyone!
Gonta, please, don't you interject too.
Culprit.
Please don't. Please. Oh, here we go.
Gonta never hurt anyone!
Could it be that he plugged the wrong one into the wrong port?
Keep everyone safe!
The device instructions, he messed them up, didn't he?
There was a glitch.
Gonta is gentlemen! Gentlemen, protect
Should
friends!
have affected all of us.
Your lies aren't protecting anyone.
But because we're all okay,
Gonta
That's
not
what he did
lying.
wrong.
that means there
That's
was
a
no
weak
Gonta, swear! Please believe Gonta!
I know it sounds crazy. It's no wonder it's hard to believe. But this is the truth.
Gonta
So
never
you're telling
hurt
me
anyone!
Could he be colorblind?
thing about, but because we're all okay,
Gonta not lying!
that means there was.
Oh, I missed the V point. Yeah, Gonta plugged in the wrong colors into the wrong thing.
The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the 2 cords on the helmet used to log into the virtual world.
Look at Gonta, or not Gonta, look at Kaito in that picture. He looks so smug and he almost looks evil. Look at his face. He's like, I am heavy-eyebrowed Kaito Momoda. My goal is only to destroy the world. Out of curiosity, what happens if you switch the chords? I don't know. Probably messes up your face.
I think that Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error.
If he mixed the consciousness and memory cords, then there'd be an error with memory. Like an error that won't let you bring your avatar's memories to the real world?
What?
Gonta, do you think it's possible that you improperly connected the cords?
How Gonta's supposed to remember that?
He couldn't have messed it up. I said it over and over. Right is the hand you hold your chopsticks in.
Oh, but Gonta holds chopsticks with this hand.
Your left hand!
Oh no. That's the silliest thing ever.
What?
Looks like it's decided.
Oh my god, Gonta's left-handed screwing everything up.
What? Decided. He's wrong, isn't he, Gonta? You remember the virtual world, don't you?
Gonta not remember. Gonta not even go to this virtual world place.
What?
Gonta fall asleep when he put helmet on. When Gonta wake up, Mew dead. Gonta not know what happened. So, Gonta worry. Gonta not understand what everyone talking about.
No, it can't be.
But Gonta try his best to understand. Gonta imagine real hard.
That's enough, Gonta. We already know.
Know what?
We know that you totally forgot about teaming up with me and killing Mew.
Wait a minute! That lie! Gonta not kill Mew! 'Cause why would Gonta do that?
Yeah, it's a lie. I'll never accept this. And besides, Gonta's got no motive to kill Mew.
Does he?
I already gave you my testimony on how I came up with the murder plan.
And I'm saying I don't believe you.
Kokichi, if what you're saying is true, why did you plan it this way? You wanted to plan the murder yourself, but have someone else carry it out?
Is the person who planned it also included as a blackened with the perpetrator?
Nope! Only the person who actually commits the murder becomes the blackened!
Then there's no incentive to just plan the murder.
But Gonta's such a gentle soul. Why would he agree to this?
Hold on, that hasn't been decided yet.
Who cares about the motive? Let's vote for the culprit already.
No, that's highly important, Kokichi.
I care about the motive.
Well, I don't care. Finding the culprit is more important in this class trial. Talking about the motive is meaningless. It's not necessary for this specific case.
No matter what you say, I'll never believe your lies.
We all agree that Gonta is the culprit, right? It would be impossible for anyone but him.
But why? I want to know.
Impossible? Why?
It's pretty obvious if you use the process of elimination. Which means, Shuichi, you'll be my partner, right?
Huh? Me?
Because if you don't face the truth, then we'll all die, right? And you don't want that, do you? Okay, let's begin!
Quit screwing around. I'm done putting up with your selfish bullshit.
Kaito, we should listen to his explanation. Our lives depend on it.
So, we can now take Keyboy, Himiko, and Maki off the suspect list. Shuichi, would you care to explain? I doubt they'll believe it if it came from me.
The reason Kibo, Himiko, and Maki can be eliminated as suspects is because they couldn't have the murder weapon, they couldn't access the crime scene, they didn't have a motive. They couldn't access the crime scene.
They couldn't get to the crime scene, could they?
The bridge from the chapel to the mansion was gone, and only Mew could pass through the wall. The three at the chapel had no way to get to the mansion, so they couldn't have done it. Kaito is the next one off our suspect list, and you know why, right?
Because he got logged out.
Kaito had logged out ahead of us.
Mew logged Kaito out from the start. But she did that to make us think the murder happened in the real world, right? Since we figured out the actual killing happened in the virtual world, it would have been impossible for Kaito, who had already logged out. Mew's time of death was around 6:30 in the morning. That's after Kaito logged out.
I'm surprised no one ever tries to... I mean, I don't remember Danganronpa 1 that well, or what happened with Kirigiri, but I'm surprised no one ever tries to take the ultimate detective's life. Like, that's taking a huge person out of the picture.
Kokichi's completely running the show now.
My synergy with Shuichi is super on point now, so let's move on to the remaining suspects. Gonta, Samugi, Shuichi, and me. Samugi and Shuichi can be crossed off. But what's the reason for that?
Because we both have solid alibis? Because they were there with each other.
Tsumugi and I are witnesses to each other's alibis.
Both of you heard Mew hitting the chapel wall, right? The culprit was definitely on the roof during that time, since they slid Mew down. Because of that, Shuichi and Samugi can't be the culprit. That leaves only Gonta and me as the remaining suspects.
And you can't do it because if you touch her, it's
you're
over.
the culprit!
Sorry for getting your hopes up, but didn't I already explain that's impossible?
Kokichi didn't go to the roof? He couldn't have killed Mew.
If Mew touched him, he'd freeze in place. Kokichi wasn't capable of strangling her.
So it had to be Gonta no matter what.
So then, it's down to one person. And who was that again? Well, who is it?
Don't answer, Shuichi! You don't need to answer that!
But I do.
This is all Kokichi's trap!
There's only one suspect left. Only one person who could have done this. Kaito, you were literally gloating at the beginning of the trial how I'm not afraid to blame anyone. And now you're complaining that I'm doing that.